Welcome to Biography with Plutarch, where we delve into the lives of extraordinary individuals to uncover the intricacies of human character. Today, we embark on a fascinating journey through the life of Vincent van Gogh, a name synonymous with artistic innovation and emotional depth. Born on March 30, 1853, in Groot-Zundert, a small village nestled in the southern Netherlands, Vincent van Gogh entered the world as the eldest son of Theodorus van Gogh, a Protestant pastor, and Anna Cornelia Carbentus. This rural setting, surrounded by the vast expanse of the Dutch countryside, with its rolling hills, verdant pastures, and majestic trees, would later influence Vincent's profound connection with nature and his desire to capture its beauty on canvas. The village of Groot-Zundert, with its charming streets, quaint cottages, and bustling town square, was a close-knit community where everyone knew each other, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming heather and the sound of chirping birds. Vincent's childhood was marked by a close relationship with his younger brother Theo, who would become his lifelong confidant and supporter. The brothers shared a love for adventure, exploring the surrounding countryside on long walks, discovering hidden streams, and climbing trees. They developed a deep appreciation for the natural world, collecting leaves, rocks, and feathers, and observing the changing seasons with wonder and awe. Their father, a kind and compassionate man with a warm smile and a gentle voice, encouraged their curiosity, often taking them on nature walks and pointing out the beauty of the world around them. Their mother, Anna, managed the household with a firm but loving hand, ensuring that the family was always well-fed, clean, and happy. As a child, Vincent was sensitive and emotional, often struggling to express himself in a family that valued reserve and restraint. His parents, though well-intentioned, may have unintentionally contributed to his feelings of isolation and self-doubt. Theodorus van Gogh's role as a pastor also meant that the family moved frequently, exposing Vincent to various communities and fostering a sense of adaptability, but also potentially disrupting his ability to form lasting connections. The constant changes in their lives may have left Vincent feeling like an outsider, always trying to fit in, but never quite belonging. The Van Gogh family's socioeconomic status was modest, with Theodorus's income from the church supplemented by Anna's inheritance. This relatively comfortable existence allowed Vincent to pursue his interests without undue financial pressure, at least during his early years. However, the family's emphasis on education and their aspirations for their children's futures would eventually create tension, as Vincent's artistic inclinations diverged from the more practical paths his parents envisioned. Theodorus van Gogh, a man of strong convictions and traditional values, may have seen art as a hobby rather than a viable career path and encouraged Vincent to pursue a more stable profession. As Vincent grew older, he attended the local village school, where he demonstrated a keen interest in literature and art. His early drawings, often of animals and landscapes, showed promise, but it was his love for reading that truly ignited his imagination. The works of authors like Dickens, Shakespeare, and the Bible would later influence his artistic vision, as he sought to capture the human experience through his paintings. Vincent's teachers, though not always understanding of his creative nature, encouraged his curiosity and nurtured his love for learning. The year 1869 marked a significant turning point in Vincent's life, as he began working at the Hague branch of Goupil & Ca., an art dealership owned by his uncle. This introduction to the art world, though ultimately unsuccessful for Vincent, exposed him to a wide range of artistic styles and techniques, laying the foundation for his future experiments with color and form. The experience also brought him into contact with other artists, collectors, and dealers who would later play important roles in his life. As he worked at Goupil & Ca., Vincent was surrounded by beautiful works of art, which sparked his imagination and fueled his desire to create. One of the most significant events during this period was Vincent's discovery of the Barbizon School of Painting, a group of French artists who emphasized the importance of capturing light and color in their work. This encounter would later influence his own artistic style, as he sought to break free from traditional techniques and explore new ways of expressing himself on canvas. The Barbizon School's emphasis on capturing the natural world, with its emphasis on light, color, and texture, resonated deeply with Vincent, who saw the world as a place of beauty and wonder. As Vincent's time at Goupil drew to a close in 1876, he stood at a crossroads, his future in the art world uncertain and shrouded in doubt. The once promising career path that had seemed so clear just a few years prior now appeared murky and unpredictable. With a mix of trepidation and hope, Vincent decided to embark on a new journey, one that would lead him down a very different road. He chose to follow in his father's footsteps and pursue a career in the ministry. Enrolling in the University of Amsterdam to study theology, Vincent threw himself into his studies with the fervor and dedication that had always characterized his endeavors. However, it soon became apparent that this path was not destined for him. The complexities of Latin, which had never been his strong suit, proved a significant obstacle, and his own self-doubt began to creep in, casting long shadows over his resolve. This period of uncertainty was marked by intense emotional turmoil, as Vincent grappled with the weight of his family's expectations alongside his own desires and aspirations. The tension between these two forces, the desire to please his family and the need to follow his heart, created a maelstrom of emotions within him. His letters from this time, penned to his brother Theo, reveal a deep-seated struggle, a sense of being torn asunder by conflicting loyalties and ambitions. Yet even amidst this turmoil, there were moments of profound insight, glimpses into the soul of an individual who was beginning to see the world through different eyes. In 1878, Vincent made a pivotal decision that would alter the trajectory of his life. He moved to the Borinage region of Belgium to work as a missionary among the coal miners. This experience proved to be nothing short of transformative. Witnessing firsthand the harsh realities of poverty and exploitation, Vincent's heart was open to the suffering of others in a way it had never been before. His letters from this period are infused with a deep sense of empathy and compassion for the struggling workers, men and women whose lives were marked by endless labor and unrelenting hardship. It was during his time in the Borinage that Vincent began to see the world in a different light. The stark contrasts between wealth and poverty, comfort and despair, left an indelible mark on his psyche. He wrote to Theo with a sense of urgency and conviction. "I feel a deep longing to be of some use, to make myself felt, to leave a mark on the world." These words, penned in the midst of his missionary work, spoke to a desire that would become the driving force behind his future endeavors, the need to contribute, to make a difference, and to express the depths of human emotion through his art. The year 1880 marked a turning point for Vincent as he made the bold decision to devote himself fully to art. Leaving behind the path of theology, he moved to Brussels and enrolled in the Académie Colarossi, where he began to study drawing and painting with renewed fervor. It was during this period that he discovered the works of the Impressionists, particularly Claude Monet and Camille Pissarro, whose emphasis on light and color would later influence his own style in profound ways. Vincent's introduction to Impressionism opened his eyes to new possibilities in art, challenging him to see the world in terms of light, shadow, and vibrant colors. His time at the Académie Colarossi was marked by intense creativity and experimentation as he sought to master the techniques that would allow him to capture the essence of life on canvas. The city of Brussels, with its historic architecture and bustling streets, provided a rich backdrop for his artistic explorations, offering endless subjects for study and inspiration. In 1883, Vincent moved to Drenthe, a rural region in the Netherlands known for its breathtaking landscapes and serene natural beauty. It was here, surrounded by the rolling hills, heather-covered moors, and quaint villages, that he began to develop his unique post-Impressionist style. Characterized by bold brushstrokes and vivid colors, his paintings from this period, such as The State of the Peasants and The Weaver, reveal a deep connection to the natural world and a sense of solidarity with the working class. As Vincent's artistic vision began to take shape, he became increasingly obsessed with the idea of capturing the essence of the human experience on canvas. In 1886, Vincent made another significant move, this time to Paris, the epicenter of artistic innovation and creativity. Here, he became acquainted with some of the leading figures of the avant-garde, including Paul Gauguin and Émile Bernard. This period was marked by intense creativity and innovation, as Vincent experimented with new techniques and styles, pushing the boundaries of what was possible in art. His paintings from this time, such as The Night Café and Starry Night, reveal a mastery of color and composition, a deep understanding of light and shadow, and an ability to convey emotion through the simplest of subjects. The influence of his contemporaries, alongside his own unique vision, resulted in works that were both of their time and timeless, speaking as they do to fundamental aspects of the human experience. Yet, Vincent's journey was not without its challenges. As he delved deeper into his art, he faced personal struggles and hardships, including mental health issues and financial difficulties. Despite these obstacles, his dedication to his craft remained unwavering, driven as it was by a profound need to express himself, to connect with others, and to leave an indelible mark on the world. As Vincent van Gogh's life unfolded in Paris, he continued to push the boundaries of his art, experimenting with bold colors and thick brushstrokes that seemed to pulse with an energy all their own. His paintings from this period, such as The Bedroom and Wheatfield with Cypresses, showcased his unique style and ability to convey emotion through everyday subjects, imbuing them with a sense of intimacy and vulnerability. The bedroom, with its simple bed and dresser, was transformed into a sanctuary of comfort and tranquility, while the wheatfield, with its golden stalks swaying in the breeze, seemed to vibrate with an otherworldly energy. Despite struggling with mental health issues, including depression and anxiety, and financial difficulties that often left him on the brink of poverty, Van Gogh's dedication to his craft remained unwavering. He would often go without food or sleep, pouring all his energy into his art, as if driven by a creative fervor that could not be satiated. His letters to his brother Theo, who was his confidant and supporter, revealed the depths of his emotional turmoil, as well as his unshakable commitment to his art. In 1888, Van Gogh moved to Arles, a small town in the south of France, where he hoped to establish an artist's colony. The sun-drenched landscape, with its rolling hills and vast expanses of wheat fields, seemed to inspire him, and he produced some of his most iconic works during this period. This tumultuous period was marked by intense creativity, as evidenced by works like The Yellow House and Starry Night over the Rhone. The latter painting, with its swirling clouds and stars set against a dark blue sky, is a masterpiece of post-Impressionism, capturing the essence of the natural world in all its beauty and mystery. As his health continued to decline, Van Gogh moved to an asylum in Saint-Rémy, where he produced some of his most iconic works, including Irises and The Starry Night. These paintings, with their bold colors and expressive brushstrokes, demonstrate Van Gogh's unwavering passion for art, even in the face of adversity. The irises, with their delicate petals and vibrant purple hue, seem to dance across the canvas, while the starry night sky, with its swirling clouds and shimmering stars, appears to pulse with an otherworldly energy. In a letter to Theo, Van Gogh wrote, "If you hear a voice within you say you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced." These words reveal the depths of his creative conviction, as well as his determination to overcome the doubts and fears that often plagued him. Despite the many challenges he faced, Van Gogh remained committed to his art, pouring all his energy into creating works that would transcend time and circumstance. In May 1890, Van Gogh moved to Auvers-sur-Oise, a village north of Paris, where he lived under the care of a homeopathic doctor. The rolling hills and verdant countryside seemed to inspire him, and he produced some of his final works during this period, including D'Aubigny's Garden and Tree Roots. The garden, with its lush greenery and vibrant flowers, seems to come alive on the canvas, while the tree roots, with their twisted and gnarled branches, appear to symbolize the artist's own struggles and triumphs. On July 29, 1890, Vincent van Gogh died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was just 37 years old, and his life had been marked by both brilliant creativity and intense suffering. The circumstances of his death have been the subject of much speculation and debate, but one thing is certain: Van Gogh's legacy as an artist has endured long after his passing. Today, Van Gogh is remembered as one of the greatest painters in history, a pioneer of post-Impressionism who paved the way for countless artists to follow. His paintings continue to inspire and awe audiences around the world, with their bold colors, expressive brushstrokes, and deep emotional resonance. Van Gogh's character, marked by intense passion and creativity, continues to fascinate and inspire us. We see in Van Gogh a reflection of our own hopes and fears, our own creative aspirations and emotional struggles. In the end, Van Gogh's story is one of both tragedy and triumph, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is always the possibility for beauty and transcendence. That's all for today's biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.